Instagram Live, and I hope you're having a happy Saturday so far, whether you're watching me live, you're watching on the replay. I hope today is a great day for you. And I wanted to talk about something as a topic today that I get a lot of questions about from people in my emails. And it's regarding the weekend. So welcome in. I'm going to let a few more people come on. Hello, Lauren. Lauren, you're going to love what I share today. Because a lot of people believe that this is something that's just universally true. And it's not. And I'm going to explain why here in a minute. So, happy Saturday to you. Live, lose, lift, love. So thanks for being here. Happy to catch you live. Thank you, Smokey Bunny. Hello, the wholesome junkie from down under. Should be right, mate. Should be right. That's a horrible Aussie accent, but it's the best I can do at 8:30 in the morning in my country. So, all right. So here's what we're going to talk about, guys. Today is Saturday, and a lot of people on the weekends believe that because they were so good during the week that they deserve to cheat. And so on the weekend, a lot of people say, well, I was so good the 5 days of the week. Hello, Mary. Thanks for being here. The 5 days, Monday through Friday, I was so good on my ketogenic lifestyle that allows me on the weekend to have whatever I want. And in fact, this was kind of underscored several years back. I remember interviewing a guy on my podcast. His name is Tim Ferriss. And Tim wrote a book called The 4-Hour Body. And in The 4-Hour Body, he talked about having the strategy of basically cheating on the weekend. And so he allowed the cheating on the weekend to take place. And people ate that up. They're like, oh my goodness, I can eat really good, basically a low-carb diet during the week, so I can cheat on the weekend. And I even heard some of the people in the paleo world talked about this. Well, you can be low-carb and keto for a period of time, but on the weekends, you need to refuel and get all your glycogen stores filled up again. And so they were even encouraging people to eat donuts and cake and M&Ms and all this stuff to replenish their glycogen. It's really wackadoodle stuff that was being stated out there. And that's not right, guys. And I want that to be loud and clear that just because it's the weekend doesn't mean you take off from your diet. And here's the thing. The moment you stop having the diet mentality, then that is the very moment that your life will change. Because you will have made that transition from here is this temporary start and temporary finish point of my diet. And instead you shift it over, and it's very cliche now, but you shift it over to more of a lifestyle where it's just how you eat. And a lot of times people say, well, I went off my diet because I cheated and because I had a weekend that I took off, so I'm off my diet. No, you are not. And it's one thing I've tried to explain to people is even those times when you're at your weakest and you give in to some temptation, which generally is to a crappy garbage food, even then you're still on your keto journey. Because journey doesn't mean it's all happy times up and up and up and up. Journey simply means it's the road you're going down. And if the road you're going down comes with high highs, guess what? It also comes with low lows. And so if you're in that low and you've decided to have some crappy garbage on the weekend because you think cheating on the weekends is okay, realize that's a part of your keto journey too. I think we lose sight of it because, well, I'm not eating the right macros for keto, thus I'm, quote, off keto. No, you're still on your keto journey. Here's what you do. if you do, and if you're watching this right now, either live or on the replay, and you've already stuck a donut or a bagel or whatever in your mouth because you've decided cheating on the weekends is okay, it's all right, guys. Enjoy it, get through it, yada yada, but then you get right back on plan. And this is the thing that I wish more keto leaders and keto coaches, people like Lauren, and you do, Lauren, talk about this with clients and with people that are in their life that are asking them for advice. I wish they would let them know, okay, it's gonna be all right. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, get right back on plan, because you haven't, quote, ruined anything. One meal or even a weekend of meals isn't going to unravel however many months or maybe even years that you've been doing this. What it will do is remind you of why you're doing this, and remind you of what the good things are in your ketogenic lifestyle, and remind you this ain't no freaking low-fat diet anymore. Because the reason most people cheat on diets is they are miserable. And so if you're miserable because you're having to eat tofu and low-fat ice cream and having peaches with fat-free cottage cheese on top, all of those kinds of things, yeah, I could see why you would want to cheat. But in keto, we have bacon, we have full-fat meats and cheeses, we have eggs, we have avocados. All of these previously forbidden foods on a diet are now on your menu. And so that makes it so much easier to not want to cheat. I even hate that term cheat, by the way, because cheating connotates that you're secretively having something that you're, quote, not supposed to have. I don't think food has any, at the end of the day, you're making a choice, but there's no value or disvalue in food, I don't think. It's choices, and you're choosing to make better choices for your health. And if you choose in a moment of weakness, or if you're in Italy and you want to get something to eat, or you're on vacation, you want to have something, that's your choice about what you put in your mouth. So you're not cheating. You're choosing to do that, again, as part of that journey, as part of your ketogenic journey. So I know this is a lot of semantics for some people, and they're like, oh, you're just splitting hairs. But when you think about it, it is all the journey. So back to the topic at hand, cheating on the weekends. If you choose to do that, let me tell you what happens. So let's say you were good all week long. You were well keto adapted. You're testing your blood or your breath or your urine ketones, however you test your ketones. You test your blood sugar. All of those things have been just amazing the whole week. And on the weekend, you decide to have the dalliance. All right. So you're eating on the weekend pretty much whatever crap you want to put in your mouth. And Monday comes and you're right back on plan again. Guess what? You're going to be more hungry. Monday, you test your blood ketones and you don't have any. Monday, you test your blood sugar and you're in the 120s in a fasted state. Those are all signs that that weekend dalliance was not a good idea. And again, you made the choice to do that. That's okay, but realize the consequences are it's going to be that much harder to get back on plan again. And especially those of you who have insulin resistance and you know who you are. It's going to be incredibly hard to get back into ketosis quickly. So sometimes for people with insulin resistance, if you have a weekend of cheating, having whatever you want on your diet, if you go through a weekend of doing that, it could take, and this is no lie, there's actually been a study that looked at this, it could take someone with insulin resistance as much as 30 days to get back into a steady state of fat burning of nutritional ketosis. 30 days. So look what you're doing. 5 days during the week, cheating on the weekends, 5 days during the week, cheating on the weekends, 5 days during the, you're never getting fully keto adapted again. And that's no bueno. But even someone who's insulin sensitive, that same study showed that those people that are insulin sensitive, it took them 5 to 7 days to get back into fully fat-burning mode of nutritional ketosis. So again, if you're eating during the week, perfectly fine, and then on the weekend having your cheat, those people, just about the time their body is ready to become fat-burning machines again, they're loading it up with carbs and making themselves sugar burners again. So they never fully get the effects. And then here's what happens. People say, well, I've been keto. I do keto all during the week, and on the weekends, yeah, I have a little bit of fun. But all during the week, I'm just good, and I'm not losing any weight, and my blood sugar's out of control, and my blood marker. Well, yeah, you're cheating. And the blood work don't lie. So even those people can struggle. And then they say keto didn't work, and I'm like, come on. we got to be honest here. We gotta call a spade. And if you're struggling because you're cheating on the weekend, then you got to realize that's probably the culprit. So I want to challenge anybody that has this mentality that they need to cheat on the weekend, to not do that for a period of time. I want you to go for the next 4 weeks 100% straight nutritional ketosis, because I think what's going to happen for a lot of people, and I get a lot of emails to this effect of, oh, I can never actually get into ketosis, or I don't really feel well on that keto thing. I had a lady yesterday, just yesterday, tell me that. I don't feel well when I'm keto, and we examine and we see she's not really in ketosis. And so you have so many moving parts here, and cheating on the weekends is a big one that a lot of people, that they've heard that it's okay to cheat on the weekends, and so they do very obediently, and then they wonder why they never see the full results that they're looking for. So that's what I wanted to say to you. Let's see what you guys have to say back. I like to fast on the weekends, Kat says. Preach it. This is my biggest pet peeve. I knew you'd like this, Lauren. That's why I called you out at the beginning and said, listen to this. Don't cheat on your health. Yes, Kitty Caddick is 100% right. When you cheat, the only person you're cheating is yourself. And what's really fascinating is I find younger people feel like they can get away with it better, and maybe they can because of metabolic flexibility and insulin sensitivity. But when you're of a certain age, you really can't do that anymore. The damage has been done. I know if I'm having something I'm not supposed to have, and I actively make that choice to do that, I know I'm going to suffer the consequences in that. And so, yes, don't cheat on your health. Thank you, Kat. One meal at a time. Exactly, Lauren. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the whole idea that some people have that you can cheat on the weekend and it's okay. It's not okay, especially for people with insulin resistance. I hate the word diet. It's a choice. Yes, Lauren, you're right. Mary, I knew you would have some things to say about this because you often write about this topic on all your social media channels. Cheating implies that you're going to gain something. What it should really be called is sabotage. Mary, this is why I love you, my dear. Sabotage is exactly what it is. And the only person that's sabotaging is you. Everybody around you doesn't blink an eye at you having whatever that dalliance is. They don't care. They're eating all that stuff all the time too anyway. So it's kind of like the person who says they're a Christian and then they go to the bar when they're not in church on Sundays. And, oh, you're just like me. So there's you're sabotaging your Christian witness. So yeah, you're sabotaging your keto diet when you cheat. Yeah, you're just cheating yourself. Well said. Sometimes it's like saying that recovering alcoholics can have a glass of wine. It's a slippery slope. Exactly. And this is the thing, when I heard about this when I was in the keto or in the paleo community several years ago, and they started talking about carb backloading, and that whole idea that John Kiefer and Dr. Rocky Patel came out with, and they would talk about, oh yeah, you need to go ahead and eat really, really good, kind of low carb-ish, keto-ish during the week, and then we're going to backload carbohydrate, and donuts will help you become very insulin sensitive, and I'm just going, what? That made no sense to me at all. And yet, once you have those things, that was my comment back to them, Kat, was, it's just like the alcohol thing. You give an alcoholic a little alcohol and they'll want a lot of alcohol. You give a carb addict who is insulin resistant a little bit of carbs, they're going to want a lot of bit of carbs. And it is a huge slippery slope. So thank you for making that point. Dolly Mommy 60 says she's going to take my 28-day challenge. So give it a go. Because here's what's going to happen. Dolly, when you are in a constant state of nutritional ketosis, especially for that long, 4 weeks in a row, you're going to notice so many improvements that maybe if you've had that idea of cheating on the weekends or even having a thing here and there, oh, it's just this one little thing, and the one little thing ends up being like every few days, you're never actually able to be in nutritional ketosis. So if you commit to doing a steady state of nutritional ketosis for a period of time of 4 weeks, you'll feel mental clarity, you'll feel energy, you'll feel less chronic pain in your body. There's so many kind of subjective things that will get better if you commit to doing that. So I'm anxious to hear how you do. So thank you for that. Mom to Go says my cheat would end up being 30 days later in a stupor, 30 pounds heavier, and I feel awful. I cannot cheat. It kills me. And see, Mom to Go, you know that about yourself. Here's the game that a lot of people play, though. They don't know that about themselves, and they're like, oh, I'll be okay. And I'll give you a perfect example. So Christine's grandmother, who passed away last year, she always, at the end of her day, would have a Nutty Buddy ice cream bar. And she's like, oh, I'm good throughout the day, so I deserve to have that Nutty Buddy at the end of the day. And I remember she'd just sit there and eat it and cone and sugary whatever and all, and she enjoyed it. Well, guess what? She had a heart attack. And it caught up to her, and she got in a nursing home and just went downhill in her health. So that little dalliance that you think is harmless because you're, quote, good most of the time, and you have this thing, it catches up to you. And so I'm glad, Mom to Go, that you have articulated that you realize this is no bueno for you, and so you don't do it. So kudos to you. My husband is the dessert whisperer. Eek. Oh, does he make really good desserts? You need to teach that boy how to cook with almond flour and like Swerve to make some really nice desserts that are keto friendly. This is also very true. Thank you, Wholesome Junkie. Commit to it. Yes. Dolly Mommy says eating sugar causes your immune system to be down for 4 hours. I wouldn't be surprised if it does a whole lot more than what we know that it does. That's what we know. But I'm sure it down to the cellular level, I mean, that's probably where the cells become very susceptible to cancer. We weaken them with the nutritional choices that we make that aren't optimal. So it's one reason all of us go keto, because we don't want to go down that road. Calamity Tam 68 says, I lose control if I eat sugar. I caught myself eating a donut and then hiding it. It was not worth it. That's been 6 days ago, and I'm still not back into ketosis. It just wasn't worth it. Thank you, Tam, for sharing that. And yes, be patient with yourself as you're getting back into ketosis. It will take a little bit of time, especially if you have the insulin resistance like we talked about earlier. Studies have shown it could take upwards of 30 days for people to get fully keto adapted again that have severe insulin resistance. So it's a good reminder, though, why you're committed to keto. All right, guys, that's all the message I had for you here this morning. on this Saturday morning. I figured Saturday morning was the best time to talk about this subject of cheating on the weekend, because either somebody's already had something, or they'll watch this and go, oh crap, how did Jimmy know I was about to go cheat on my keto diet? I know, I have eyes everywhere. Michelle loves kale, says, when I think of sweets, I have to remind myself they're not going to make me happy. Michelle, exactly. And you know what I did when I initially went low carb on the Atkins diet way back when? I told myself that sugar is rat poison. Now, obviously, on a conscious level, I knew sugar wasn't actually rat poison. But if you get such a negative thought in your head, and then when sugar presents itself and sugar's rat poison kind of jumps there, it gives you just enough pause to go, oh yeah, it's not rat poison, but it will harm me just like rat poison would. So kind of come up with a mantra. You can use that one if you want, but come up with some kind of a mantra that will remind you about why you're making the choices you make. Comet Bill says, have a good weekend. Thanks for the weekend motivational boost. You betcha, buddy. All right, I'm going to pop off of here. I am sitting in the Sam's Club parking lot. I need to go get some stuff in there. But thanks for watching, you guys. Kat says, I bet you just saved many people from crappy carbs this weekend. Kat, that was the hope. As I was driving here, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, everybody likes to cheat on the weekend that hasn't been educated as to what that does. So, yeah, I hope so, Kat. So thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll talk again.